Hi, guys. My name is Eric Sargent, and I'm acting as the interim president of the Indiana Land Cruiser Association. And I'm going to take a minute of your time, and I'm going to go over where the club's at today, where we want the club to go in the next year, and how you can be a part of that. So, thanks for watching the video. This will be written out in a text email as well. But ultimately, we figured maybe it'd be a little bit more of a reach to throw it into a video format. So first of all, thank you for being a part of the club. If you're not part of the club, then now is really the time where we're going to ask people to join up. The reason we haven't taken any kind of collections or membership fees to this date is because we weren't in a tax exempt status with the IRS. About a year or so ago, TJ and I had been talking about it since 2018 of becoming an Indiana or becoming a TLCA chapter. And so that was the plan. And we finally just drug our feet, and we finally just got around to one day just saying, let's go ahead and do it and see what happens. So we applied to be a chapter for TLCA. We presented a presentation on some of our thoughts and what we thought would be a good mission statement for it. We created bylaws, we created a website, we did the push-ups, and we got accepted. So we are officially a TLCA chapter, the only TLCA chapter in Indiana. And so we're really proud of that. We had about 10 or 12 events in 2023, and we've had 4 or 5 already in 2024. However, we haven't collected any money from anybody, which is not something that is going to be required, but are going to ask for a $30 membership fee. If somebody cannot pay $30, but they want to be part of the club, we want you to be part of the club too. So we can present scholarships to somebody who just wants to be part of it, but can't necessarily afford it. But we do want to have some revenue. We do want to collect the $30. We want to get 50, 60, 70, or 100 people to join up with some business sponsorships as well, so we can have some revenue and have some money in the bank account. We'd like to get $3,000 or $4,000 in the bank so that we can buy merch, we can buy shirts, hats, patches, stickers, or just have a grand party at the end of the year at our like a holiday party get together. Or if we want to go camping and we want to buy a bunch of food, we want to have the funds to do that. We want to have a good time. We want to support the causes in our mission statement, and we can go over all that sometime at around the end of this video. But just to capture the attention before people start dropping off, just want to let you know exactly where we're at. We are 501c7 tax exempt status, so we can now collect membership dues from you and not have to pay a portion of that to the government, which is great. Always a good thing. The 501c7 status is a car club. What that means is that it's not like a 501c3 where you can write it off at the end of the year and not have to pay a portion of taxes based on your gross earnings. It is just meaning that we as a club are tax-free. We don't have to pay taxes. You can't write it off at the end, but it's $30, so that may be a minimal non-factor anyway, just to differentiate that for you. So we're going to ask for the memberships. We want you to be part of the club. It's not going to be required that you come to our activities. We're not going to boot you out if you don't come to 1 or 2 activities per year. You can come to all of them, or you can come to none of them. At the end of the day, we're going to want to collect the revenue, the $30, and we're going to try to provide. And when I say we, me, TJ, the board of directors, and so on and so forth, we're going to want to provide you with as much value as possible. But keep in mind too that we're also working professionals too, and we have a full-time job. So our commitment to you is to meet once per month and try and give value back to you, which is going to be mainly providing a meetup once per month. We are going to try and do one meetup per calendar month. There may be a month that we don't, like in February or March when there's not a lot to do. It's cold, salty outside. Or maybe we'll have 2 like in the summer months where we can go camping or go wheeling or so on and so forth. So that's kind of the promise to you. We want to be held accountable. We as the decision makers. So there will be 5 board seats. Currently I'm acting as the interim president, and TJ as well. We need a treasurer, we need a secretary, and we need a membership director. We don't expect this to take more than 30 to 60 minutes of time per month to actually conduct the duties. The membership director maybe a little bit more so, because you'll be intermittently, adding members to our Google Looker Studio or our sheet, so that we can kind of have everything organized. Access to our Facebook, access to our Text Magic account, so we can send out group text to everybody. That's all going to be something that is going to be required of the membership director. But these job descriptions are already created. We'll post them on our website sometime in the next week or so before we actually ask for membership. But we are asking for a board of director. Whether you have board experience, whether you understand how Robert's Rules of Order works and quorums and so on and so forth, that would be preferable, but not necessarily required. We're looking for people that are going to be active in the club. We don't want a hand raiser to be on the board and then never show up to a meeting. That would be unacceptable. So we're looking for somebody who's going to be active and somebody who can commit to coming to all the activities. We're going to meet once per month. TLCA, as a board member of TLCA through our chapter, we have a meeting once per month. It's about 1 hour. We will most likely have our INLC meeting that same day, the hour before that. So we'll commit ourselves to that timeline. But again, we're looking for a 30 to 60 minute commitment per month per board member. Outside of the board, we would really like to have a committee for trip planning. It does the trip planning committee can be 2 to 4 people. It does not need to be the board. It could be the board, but ultimately it's somebody who's going to be active and having fun. Setting up trips to the Badlands or Hoosier National Forest, or go on Sunday drives, or go to the whiskey place, or go to the brewery, or wherever it may be that we can kind of meet up just to have community amongst like-minded Land Cruiser and Toyota 4x4 enthusiasts. So that's what we're asking for. If you have interest in that, I want you to call or email me. Our email address, TJ and I both have a shared email called info@inlc.com. But if you want to email me directly, it's eric@inlc.org or tj@inlc.org for TJ. So just info@inlc.org is the best, because that'll come to both of us, and one of us will delegate that as according. So what we have done in 2023, I'll kind of go through a quick little list of what we did. We had 2 campouts, one in Hoosier National Forest in the summer, and then we had another one at a private property in Brown County. Perfect time of the year for that. It was October 7th and 8th. We had 2 meetups at West Fork Distillery. We had 2 meetups or 2 breakfast grill outs at Red Bridge Park in Cicero, and morning breakfasts, and then Camp Style. And then we had our 6th annual Toyota meet and greet, which is now branded as Yoda Mobilia. That was at Ed Martin Toyota, as it always is. That we had over 50 guests in 2023, so it's the biggest turnout so far. And then we also had a group camp out at Clump Campground in Attica. We had a barn party as well in December. And ultimately, we rounded out with around 10 to 12 total events last year in 2023. And that was before we even collected any revenue at all. This year, year to date in 2024, we have done 1 winter camping event in Hoosier National Forest. It was -1 degree. If you were there, thank you. We actually had about 14 people that were there. It was a great time. We've had a breakfast grill out at Red Bridge Park. We had a Sunday drive to the Duesenberg Museum, which was great. And we also had a total solar eclipse party and grill out, and I think it was in April. So we've had 4 events so far year to date. We have another one coming up on June 8th at the Badlands Off-Road Park. There's an event called Bash 24. It's the biggest event of the year at the Badlands. There's a King of the Hammer type race called Ultra 4, and I think it starts at 7 p.m. We plan on going that kind of as spectators, and then we plan on going to Clump Campground in Attica and camping afterwards and having a community party bonfire, have some drinks, family friendly, and that's going to be on the night of June 8th into June 9th, and then we'll go ahead and kind of leave from there. So that's what we have planned. One more event that is on the radar. Well, 2 really. One is we are going to have a Land Cruiser 250 Series reveal party. The Toyota Chicago region has committed to loaning us 3 250 Series Land Cruisers, and I think from Ed Martin we're going to have at least 3, if not 4, 250 Series Land Cruisers of various trim levels as well. We were wanting to do that on June 15th, but I don't think there's currently a holdup on 250 Land Cruisers on certain trim levels. We don't know exactly the details on that, but we do know that we don't think that June 15th date is going to work, just because they won't be here yet. So it'll probably be the week of the last week of June, first week of July, and we'll have a meetup. But again, we're going to plan on having 6 or if not 7 250 series Land Cruisers for everyone to kind of check out. We will do that event probably at Beer Brewery on 10th Street and in Noblesville, maybe at the West Fork Distillery in Westfield, or maybe we'll do it at Ed Martin Toyota. It just kind of depends on a couple of variables. So we're going to get that figured out as soon as once these cars are kind of out of their hold status, we're going to have that figured out, and then we'll post that on the website, and we'll do it through Facebook and all that as well. So that's currently where we're at. Again, we need help. We need a board of directors. We're currently running on just TJ and I as interim positions. We are happy being president or vice president or secretary, treasury, board, whatever it may be. We're happy. We want to be a part of it. If we need to nominate ourselves to be the president, if nobody else chooses to do so, that's fine. But we can't be secretary and treasurer in the board membership or the board director. Also, it's too much work and it's not fun for us. So we really want somebody, whether you have the Robert's Rules of Order experience or not, it doesn't matter. We just want you to be part of the club. We want you to have, we want people that are passionate about Toyota 4x4. Obviously, Land Cruiser specifically a little bit more to our heart, but we don't want to disclude or not include anybody that's interested in Tacomas or 4Runners or, Tundras even. There's just a lot of fun in Toyota 4x4 community. Obviously, in Indiana, there's less to do than there is in certain places, but we have a lot of great terrain and we have a lot of great people, and we want to monopolize on that community to build the next generation into the same passions that we have, which is Land Cruisers and Toyota 4x4. We want to make sure that our kids experience the same stuff, because things may not be the same then. So we want that passion to live on. So whether you're this does not matter what age you are. If you have kids, that's even better. We want to make sure that you're part of the club and make sure that your kids are involved in that as well, and your dogs too. So that's kind of where we're at. I may or may not have mentioned the board or the committee for the trip planning. That will not be a board seat. That we need 2 to 4 people that are going to be willing to show up to the events. So whether you have good ideas, bad ideas, doesn't really matter. We'll talk about all that. We'll vote on that. But we need a committee for trip planning, and then we need our board filled, and we need to have that done fairly soon. With that said, if you have any questions, please reach out to myself or TJ. My email is eric@inlc.org. TJ's is tj@inlc.org. And if you want to email both of us, just type in info@inlc.org, and that will get to both of us, and one of us will get back with you as soon as possible. I will take just a moment and read our mission statement so that everyone is familiar with what we are about and what we plan on doing in the future. Everything that we do needs to be around the philosophy of the core principles, and like I mentioned, part of it is expanding our community, preserving it for the next generation. But I will read the 4 mission statement bullet points to you. 1, to promote and encourage Toyota four-wheel drive activities and trips for members to enjoy the outdoor camaraderie of off-road travel and exploration. 2, to provide four-wheel drive training for members in a safe and controlled environment. 3, to promote safe and responsible off-roading, camping, enjoyment of outdoors, and in particular regard to leave no trace philosophy, i.e. tread lightly, and to promote and encourage support of interest of drivers for four-wheel drive vehicles. That is our mission statement. If you guys like what you hear, we want you to be part of the club. If you have a Toyota and it has a 2-speed transfer case, whether it's a Land Cruiser, a Tacoma, does not matter. We want you to be part of the club. We want your $30 to make the club solvent, but we more so, if that's a deal breaker for you, we want you to be part of the club regardless, via scholarship, which we can help out with no problem. That's all a discussion between me, TJ, and yourselves, but we want you to be part of it. We want you to raise your hand, and it's going to take a couple weeks for us to get the bank account set up. But the hard part that took over a year to do is done, and now it's time to have some fun. So with that said, I'll leave it at B. This video, we'll go ahead and throw it on YouTube. If it's something that you have interest in, again, reach out to us. If it's something that you think, oh, I know somebody else that may be interested in this, please take the video and share it with them. And we appreciate that. And we appreciate you. And have a wonderful day.